Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and we're back with another multiplayer game because it was kind of fun yesterday and I figured since we're waiting for the campaign embargo to drop I might as well do another one. And this time something very different. We're going to be using a flat map and it's going to be a Chaos Dwarf on Chaos Dwarf Civil War. I'm joined today by Mercy the Mad, another content creator with Creative Assembly, another campaign player who focuses on exploits and stuff like that. So I figured this would be a pretty even type of battle. We've got two drastically different armies where I'm focusing on range and monsters and he's focusing on monsters and melee. So I started off with a spellcaster, a sorcerer prophet of a shut with a lore of metal. One unit of goblin laborers, one unit of hobgoblin cutthroats, some Chaos Dwarf warriors with additional hand weapons, the regiments of renown for the Chaos Dwarf warriors, these are the firebeards. Then I had some Infernal Ironsworn, 2 units of Hobgoblin Archers, because I'm really liking Hobgoblins lately, Oglakarn's Raiders, because those regiments of renown are really good to use in campaign and in battles too, a unit of Kadai Fireborn, 2 units of Bull Centaurs with additional hand weapons, these are the dual wielders, and finally an honest-to-goodness Hell Cannon, because while they might not be the most original unit, we've had them since Warhammer 1, I very much enjoy them. Now Mercy's army is quite different to mine, you can see the Sneaky Gits already coming in, but other than that he's got a unit of Hobgoblin Cutthroats, a unit of Orc Laborers, a unit of Goblin Laborers. He also went for the same Regiment of Renown unit as I did with the Chaos Dwarf Warriors. He's got a Infernal Guard unit, this is the hand weapon and shield one unit of Hobgoblin Archers, the Regiment of Renown Blunderbuss unit, a unit of Hobgoblin Raiders with bows, a unit of Kadai Fireborn, same as me, as we both seem to quite like it, and finally a Kadai Destroyer. He's bringing the big boy into the battle. On the leadership part of his army, he's got Astrogoth Ironhand, a legendary lord which is actually fairly strong. So yeah, we've got two kind of conflicting armies here, and we figured that this would be kind of fun to show off because Chorf on Chorf violence, it's rare in the lore because they will try to make sure that their numbers stay high, but in some cases this does happen. So yeah, big armies all around. We've both built in very similar unit type sizes, but now we're going to try and get a little bit aggressive with each other. So as you can imagine, I built up my army in a very similar way to how I would build up a tabletop army with some restrictions and so on, but I really wanted Bull Centaurs. I was really happy about them because I really enjoy that unit. But the aggression started very early. We had to deal with the Sneaky Gits hitting us from the side because they were able to vanguard. Obviously, I was trading some blows already too, as I wanted to throw in my Hell Cannon into the mix, but I did forget about actually making it fire at one specifically, so I was automatically aiming for Astrogoth. After that, it was just straight in. We clashed together, they got there before I did, so they were getting a lot of charges, but I was throwing in my Bull Centaurs as fast as possible. Mercy is obviously trying to cast off some spells. He's got a good lore of magic here. Astrogoth also has access to some lore of fire spells, so the damage is able to be done. I should have brought my spellcaster on a mount, in all honesty, as yeah, there was a few games of Tom and Jerry here where my spellcaster had to run away as a very large Kadai Destroyer was making his way to me. Now, my Bull Centaurs were performing very well. I had them charging directly onto the enemy line, taking out those Regiment of Renown warriors as fast as possible. I, in fairness, should have focused on the blunderbusses, but I wanted to get rid of a unit that I was kind of worried about. Other than that, what you will notice is I've split my forces around. The idea was, and I think Mercy had the same idea as I did, get the leadership bonuses away from the hobgoblins, so there was a lot of splitting around. You can see that the battlefield is very open here. My Kadai Fireborn getting rid of some Chaos Dwarf Infernal Guard, and just harassing them a little bit with my Wolf Raiders. I must be very honest here, I did not use the Wolf Raiders to the best potential. I should have cycle charged more whilst automatically shooting, but I was using them more as just very highly mobile archers. Again, the Destroyer kind of focusing on my Lord, and focusing is probably not a good idea, because while it can do a lot of damage, it's good to take out other stuff. Since the Dwarf Sorcerer is actually quite small, I think that it suffers a little bit when trying to hit a small target. And here you can see my Bull Centaurs just slamming in. I've got the other unit taking out a unit which is almost broken too. I'm telling you, out of all the units that have been added in, I must say that the Bull Centaurs really surprised me. Very much enjoying what they're capable of doing. Again, the game of Tom and Jerry is still going on. He was trying to make me stop spellcasting and so on, but yeah, it doesn't really do too much because I didn't really bring too many spells. I only brought Searing Doom and Final Transmutation as I was trying to get as much in as possible. Keep in mind that the Chaos Dwarf stuff is very, very expensive, but I am getting a lot of table control here. You can see that I've pretty much taken a lot of units out of them. He's pretty much just got Astrogarth and the Kadai Destroyer at this point. Everything else is either broken or getting to the point of breaking. There is a little bit of lag in certain frames, I must just point this out. Creative Assembly are sorting out a patch that should go out live today that should fix that all. This is only for the replays for some reason, I'm not too sure what's happened there, but yeah, let's continue. Again, yeah, the table control is very important. I feel like it's very much the same for pretty much every other faction, and having a variety of units was very beneficial to me. The Bull Centaurs were both the hammer and anvil unit that I needed, and it's definitely something that I'm going to be using a lot. You guys will probably be using it a lot during campaign 2. I would suggest using it as fast as possible when the DLC launches if you decide to buy it, as it's very likely that the Bull Centaurs, all 3 of them, are going to get very heavily nerfed. What you will be able to see as we get closer is that the Kadai is suffering, the Kadai Destroyer is suffering, even against the additional hand weapon Bull Centaurs. I'm just getting a few poxy shots out here, making sure that my archers are being used. Again, not using the raiders as I should, but they're still doing their job, and that's the most important thing. Astrogarth is being held down by what remains of my Chaos Dwarf warriors, just to make sure that he's kept into location so he's not harassing me anywhere else where he could break something else. But yeah, the Kadai is pretty much gone now. Look at it. It's suffering. It even suffers against those Bull Centaurs, and they're not the anti-large variants. These ones are anti-infantry. Again, proving that the Bull Centaurs are absolutely wonderful. It actually makes me want to paint my Bull Centaur army, because I've got a bunch of them from the Forge World variant. But yeah, honestly, this was pretty fun. I must say, it was really fun playing with Mercy the Mad. I really enjoyed talking to him. He's a really lovely dude. You can see the Kadai basically dying here, because after a certain point, it will lose its unbreakable status and start taking some damage. The death animation looking absolutely awesome for it. Yeah, like, so cool. I'm a big fan of this miniature. I'm so happy to see it in Total War. All in all, the roster for the Chaos Dwarfs has been absolutely wonderful, and now it's just playing cleanup, where Astrogarth is being held down. There's a few more Hobgoblins standing, but eventually they will break. And yeah, pretty fun game overall, I must say. It's one of those things where it could have gone either way. I think if he would have brought down a flame cannon, it would have probably done a lot better against me. But not everyone needs to take artillery. It depends on the playstyle of the person. Again, I have to stress out that both myself and Mercy are campaign players mostly, so this isn't really something that we're used to. I will say, Bull Centaurs, wonderful, performed very well. Kadai, Fireborn on both parts actually performed very well. You can see the kills there. My Hobgoblin Cutthroats did pretty good, but they were fighting against the laborers from the Goblins and the Orcs. Yep, all in all, very fun battle, must say. Very interesting to see a Civil War aspect of this, because you get one big beastie versus a number of beasties, and that does actually show how drastically different people can sort out their armies. If I would have changed anything, I wouldn't have brought the Regiment of Renown Chaos Dwarf Warriors. I don't think that they were worth it for me. I should have brought a standard unit and then possibly brought in another unit of laborers just to be able to spread out a little bit more. That's the way I see it from my part. And honestly, I should have used the Hell Cannon a lot better. I think I got like 3 shots from Astrogarth before I started like, oh yeah, you know, shoot here instead. Overall, very fun game. Very much enjoyed playing with Mercy. Unfortunately, we didn't get too many games in because the famous desync bug that happens during creator builds was back, and we just weren't able to play. He was desyncing pretty much against anyone. But yeah, overall, very fun. Let me know what you guys think about this battle. Is there anything I could have done a little bit better? And I'll see you all again very soon. There should be a second video coming out today, shortly after this one, just to have a little bit more of a discussion. And then afterwards, it's not long until the campaign drops. So yeah, I'm going to be getting a little bit of rest. No stream today.